I'm really excited for this new beginning and to build something from the ground up here with the Valkyries.
As the WNBA undergoes its first expansion in nearly 20 years, the Golden State Valkyries step onto the scene, poised to make a significant impact. Kate Martin makes her much-anticipated return to the court, now proudly wearing the new franchise's jersey and shouldering immense expectations. Unfortunately, A'ja Wilson is displeased with this development and appears to hold resentment toward Kate, viewing her actions as a betrayal.
Yeah, honestly, my focus has just been getting better. I mean, all around. I had a decent rookie season, but I just know something that's really cool about me is that my ceiling is very high.
Meanwhile, reigning MVP A'ja Wilson is feeling increasing pressure as she watches rivals and newcomers aggressively enhance their game. With Caitlin Clark already emerging as the next major star, brace yourself for a season that promises a true transformation on the court. Envision the scenario after many years without a significant shift. The WNBA is finally undergoing a substantial expansion. The last time something of this magnitude occurred was nearly 2 decades ago, and now the Golden State Valkyries are stepping into the league with all the fanfare and excitement.
I have a lot of room to grow. Always working on my shot, always working on being quicker, but
behind the scenes, analysts, players, and fans were restless, eagerly speculating about the names selected in the WNBA expansion draft. Amid corridor whispers, leaked information, and bold assumptions, one name stood out: Kate Martin, officially chosen by the Golden State Valkyries. Her acquisition is poised to shift the league's power dynamics, directly impacting established stars like current MVP A'ja Wilson. With the Valkyries entering the league amidst the first major expansion in nearly 2 decades, Kate Martin becomes a central figure for the ambitious new franchise. Her presence not only energizes the already massive fan base, but also signifies the Valkyries' intent to make a significant mark. This move heightens the competition for A'ja Wilson, who now faces intensified pressure from new teams, emerging talents, and the rising star Caitlin Clark, who is quickly becoming a top contender for the MVP title. The upcoming season is set to be transformative, with the WNBA experiencing a true revolution on the court. The Golden State Valkyries, backed by Kate Martin, are ready to challenge the status quo, while the Indiana Fever are meticulously rebuilding to reclaim their prominence. This creates a multifaceted threat landscape for Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces as they navigate not only traditional rivals, but also fresh talent eager to ascend. Caitlin Clark's emergence adds another layer of excitement and tension. Her offensive prowess, court vision, and magnetic personality position her as a formidable rival to Wilson, potentially leading to a fierce MVP showdown. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever, despite losing some players in the expansion draft, are strategically assembling a team hungry for victory, ensuring that the competition remains fierce and unpredictable. As the WNBA grows with new teams and rising stars, the stage is set for a season filled with tight confrontations, strategic trades, and intense behind-the-scenes maneuvers. The clash between the Golden State Valkyries, Indiana Fever, Las Vegas Aces, and standout players like A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark will define the league's future. Fans can look forward to thrilling matchups and the rise of new legends as the WNBA continues to evolve. The central question remains: who will emerge victorious as the league undergoes these profound transformations? Will Kate Martin lead the Valkyries to success and become their iconic face? Can the Indiana Fever reinvent themselves and challenge the established powerhouses? And will A'ja Wilson maintain her MVP status against the rising threat of Caitlin Clark? These answers will unfold on the court, making the upcoming season one of the most exciting and pivotal in WNBA history.
You think he can be as good as Steph Curry in the NBA?
Heck no!
He gonna be better than Steph Curry in the NBA.
LaMelo Ball has rapidly ascended to become one of the NBA's most electrifying young stars. This season alone, he's averaging an impressive 31 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. Since joining the Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo has transformed the franchise from a mid-market, underwhelming team into one of the league's most entertaining squads. LaMelo and his enthusiastic fans are embracing the idea that he has now surpassed Steph Curry and other NBA superstars. But is this claim really true? While some agree, let's dive into the facts and analyze the evidence to uncover the truth behind this bold narrative. Born in 2001 to LeVar and Tina Ball, LaMelo was destined for basketball greatness. LeVar Ball, known for his larger-than-life personality and bold claims about his own athletic prowess, played basketball for a year at Washington State University, averaging just 2 points per game. After his brief stint in college basketball, LeVar pivoted to football, playing for minor pro teams and spending time on NFL practice squads. Despite his efforts, he never made it to the big leagues. Determined to have 3 sons all reach the NBA, LeVar sought a partner who met his athletic and genetic standards, leading him to Tina Ball. Standing at just over 6 feet and a former college basketball player herself, Tina was the perfect match. Together, LeVar and Tina began training their 3 sons, Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo, in basketball from the moment they could walk. This intense early training laid the foundation for what would become a basketball dynasty. Typically, in families with multiple children playing the same sport, the eldest often shines the brightest, with younger siblings striving to keep up. For LaMelo, the youngest Ball brother, this dynamic pushed him to excel beyond his years. To compete with his older brothers, LaMelo played up a grade level, fostering adaptability and resilience against tougher competition. This early exposure to higher levels of play was crucial in shaping his competitive spirit and versatile skill set. By high school, the Ball family had become renowned in the basketball community. The 2016 Chino Hills basketball team, featuring Lonzo, LiAngelo, LaMelo, and future Hawks forward Onyeka Okongwu, is often hailed as one of the greatest high school teams ever. They finished the season undefeated at 35-0, defeating numerous top-tier private schools and showcasing a blend of talent, teamwork, and unorthodox playing styles. As a freshman, LaMelo contributed as a spot-up shooter, demonstrating impressive range and fearless confidence. While his passing was secondary to Lonzo's primary ball-handling role, LaMelo showcased quick outlet passes in transition. Defensively, his slight frame and occasional lack of focus were evident weaknesses, but these years were crucial in building his fearless approach to the game. The following season, with Lonzo departing for college basketball, LaMelo stepped into a more prominent role. Although Chino Hills didn't maintain an undefeated record, their dominance was clear, often playing with a sense of ease and confidence that belied their competition. LaMelo delivered memorable performances that captivated audiences and scouts alike. In one game, he scored an astonishing 92 points by cherry-picking, dominating the scoreboard with a blend of creativity and sheer determination. Another standout moment came when he drained a half-court shot just 5 seconds into a game, setting the tone with an audacious display of skill. Despite the playful trolling from opponents and spectators, it was evident that LaMelo possessed enormous potential. As Chino Hills' primary scorer and playmaker during his sophomore year, LaMelo led the offense with highlight-worthy moments that kept fans on the edge of their seats. His willingness to drive to the basket increased, though his shot selection leaned heavily on deep three-pointers. His passing evolved into a flashy yet sometimes inefficient mix of high-risk, high-reward decisions. Defensively, his minimal effort and lack of discipline remained areas for growth, but his offensive prowess continued to shine. LaVar Ball became increasingly vocal online, leveraging his son's growing popularity and Lonzo's success in college. He famously claimed that Lonzo was better than Steph Curry during Lonzo's college days, and went as far as stating that LaMelo would surpass Curry in the NBA. LaVar's bold statements often sparked debates and controversies, keeping the Ball family in the media spotlight. To capitalize on his son's talent, LaVar launched the Big Baller brand, creating signature shoes for Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo. This move, however, violated NCAA rules regarding amateur status, causing LaMelo to lose his college eligibility. Dissatisfied with changes in Chino Hill's coaching and administration, LaVar decided to pull LaMelo out of high school before his junior year, seeking alternative paths to professional basketball. LaVar then took LaMelo and LiAngelo to Lithuania to play professionally for the Prienai basketball club. This move came after LiAngelo faced an indefinite suspension from the UCLA basketball team due to a theft incident in China. In Lithuania, LaMelo struggled to adapt to the structured professional system, primarily serving as a bench player. Scoring consistently against older, stronger competition was challenging, and he was often limited to spot-up shooting. While his playmaking ability showed glimpses, his immature decision-making and defensive lapses were exposed by disciplined European players. Despite these challenges, the experience was invaluable, teaching him the importance of structured and disciplined play. After averaging 6.5 points per game in 12 minutes for Prienai, LaVar pulled LaMelo from the team, believing the coach wasn't providing enough playing time. This stint effectively ended any hopes of LaMelo playing college basketball, forcing him to seek alternative paths to continue his basketball career. Undeterred by his experiences in Lithuania, LaVar Ball launched the Junior Basketball Association as an alternative to college basketball. The JBA was designed to allow players to turn professional and earn money before entering the NBA. LaMelo was the star of the Los Angeles team, where he averaged nearly 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists, leading his team to the championship. However, the JBA faced criticism for its low competition level and lack of subsequent seasons, with many players claiming they were never paid, thereby wasting their chances to play college basketball. In the JBA, LaMelo thrived as the league's marquee player, dominating offensively and showcasing his creativity in playmaking. His defensive effort remained minimal, but the experience helped him regain confidence and momentum after his struggles in Lithuania. The JBA served as a platform for LaMelo to refine his skills and maintain his visibility in the basketball world, setting the stage for his next move. Following the JBA, LaMelo returned to high school for his senior year at Spire. Here, he presented a more mature and polished game, emerging as a true team leader. Offensively, he balanced his ability to hit deep three-pointers with an increased willingness to drive to the rim. Improved body control and creativity around the basket made him a more versatile scorer. As a playmaker, his court vision and basketball IQ shone, orchestrating Spire's offense with both flashy and smart, efficient decisions. Defensively, LaMelo began to make strides, utilizing his 6'7" frame and long wingspan to disrupt passing lanes and contest shots. While not yet a lockdown defender, his improved presence hinted at his potential on the defensive end. His leadership and maturity set him apart, blending individual brilliance with team success and silencing critics who questioned his commitment and maturity. After graduating high school, LaMelo signed with the Illawarra Hawks in Australia's National Basketball League, marking a transformative chapter in his career. In the NBL, he thrived in a structured yet fast-paced environment, displaying significant growth in decision-making and adaptability. Offensively, LaMelo showcased his versatility, scoring from all three levels and improving his ability to attack the rim with size, agility, and creativity. His elite playmaking stood out, with advanced court vision and the ability to elevate his teammates through pinpoint passes and orchestrated offensive plays. Defensively, LaMelo made noticeable improvements, using his physical attributes to disrupt opponents. His time in the NBL prepared him for the NBA's physicality, refining his body and mindset for the next level. By season's end, he was awarded the NBL Rookie of the Year, solidifying his status as a top NBA prospect despite missing games due to injury. Entering the 2020 NBA Draft, many expected LaMelo to be the first overall pick. However, he fell to the Charlotte Hornets, who selected him as their new hope. This unexpected turn became a defining moment for both LaMelo and the Hornets. In his rookie season, LaMelo made an immediate impact, becoming one of the most exciting young players in the league. His dazzling passes, fearless drives to the rim, and ability to orchestrate the Hornets' offense made him an instant fan favorite. LaMelo was named NBA Rookie of the Year, averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, firmly establishing himself as a promising young star. In his second season, LaMelo increased his averages to 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, earning an all-star appearance as an injury replacement for Kevin Durant. Despite his individual improvement, the Hornets struggled, making the play-in tournament but being eliminated in the first game each of his first 2 seasons. The following seasons were marred by injuries. LaMelo broke his ankle in the 2022-23 season and faced another injury in 2023-24, limiting him to 58 games across those 2 years. Nonetheless, his stats continued to rise steadily, showcasing his resilience and dedication to improving his game despite setbacks. Entering the current season, LaMelo has proven all doubters wrong, playing like one of the league's best guards. Averaging 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists, he ranks second in the NBA in scoring. LaMelo's scoring is anything but traditional. He's hitting step-back and fadeaway threes, finishing layups at the rim, and toying with defenders just as he did at Chino Hills. His seemingly nonchalant attitude on the court adds to his effectiveness, making him unstoppable. LaMelo's ability to create his own shot while simultaneously setting up his teammates makes him a dual threat that defenses struggle to contain. His ball-handling skills allow him to navigate through tight defenses, while his vision enables him to find open teammates in motion. This season, his confidence has soared, and his playmaking has reached new heights, further establishing him as a cornerstone for the Hornets' future. With his electrifying play and larger-than-life personality, LaMelo is not just chasing greatness, he's redefining what it means to be an NBA All-Star. While his individual performances aren't yet translating to team wins, the Hornets are in a rebuilding phase. If Charlotte can surround LaMelo with the right pieces, they could become a legendary team akin to the 2016 Chino Hills squad. The synergy between LaMelo and potential future acquisitions could lead to a renaissance for the Hornets, transforming them into perennial playoff contenders. Looking ahead, LaMelo Ball is poised to continue evolving into one of the NBA's biggest stars, inspiring the next generation of players and creating new opportunities both on and off the court. Whether leading the Hornets to the playoffs or making viral highlight reels, LaMelo Ball is a name destined to be remembered in basketball history. From the most infamous high school sensation of the social media era to a bona fide NBA star, LaMelo's story is one of the most compelling ever written, with many more chapters yet to be added before he eventually hangs up his jersey for good. Beyond his on-court prowess, LaMelo Ball has made significant strides off the court. His charismatic personality and active presence on social media have made him a relatable and influential figure among fans, especially the younger generation. LaMelo's involvement in various endorsements, partnerships, and his continued collaboration with the Big Baller brand highlight his entrepreneurial spirit and business acumen. Moreover, LaMelo's journey from high school phenom to international player and finally to NBA star serves as an inspiring tale for aspiring basketball players worldwide. His resilience in the face of setbacks, such as injuries and the challenges of adapting to professional play, underscores the importance of perseverance and adaptability in achieving one's goals. Here's a story you might not hear much about, but it says a lot about the state of the WNBA and the dynamics within its teams. Just recently, Fagbenle, a talented forward and seasoned international player, was released by the Indiana Fever. On paper, it might look like just another roster change, but the reasons behind her departure and the treatment she endured paint a much more complicated picture. Temi always had a strong bond with Caitlin Clark during her time with the team, but rumors have long swirled about NaLyssa Smith's alleged mistreatment of both players. Could this be the real reason behind Temi's departure? To understand the full story, we need to dig deeper into how it all unfolded. Let's start with her history. Temi Fagbenle isn't just any player. Born in Baltimore, raised in the UK, and a Harvard graduate, she's had a storied career both on and off the court. Internationally, she's represented Great Britain with distinction, even leading her national team to historic finishes in European competition. In the WNBA, she's been a reliable presence, known for her versatility, defense, and ability to contribute in key moments. She's played for the Minnesota Lynx in the past, where she won a championship in 2017 and brought that same winning mentality to the Fever. So why was she released? Officially, the team cited roster constraints and the need to focus on rebuilding around younger talent. The Fever have been in a long, frustrating rebuild phase, and Fagbenle's veteran status likely made her a target. But there's more to it. According to reports, her relationship with the team had been strained for months, partly because of tensions with younger star NaLyssa Smith. Now, NaLyssa Smith is one of the Fever's rising stars. Drafted second overall in 2022, she has quickly become a key player for the franchise. But according to insiders, Smith didn't exactly make Fagbenle's time on the team easy. Sources close to the team have alleged instances where Smith undermined Fagbenle during practices, criticized her play openly, and even made dismissive comments about her veteran leadership. While Smith's star power has certainly helped the Fever on the court, it's clear her influence off the court may have contributed to Fagbenle's release. Fagbenle, for her part, has remained professional throughout the situation. In her limited statements, she's expressed gratitude for her time with the Fever and her teammates, but those who followed her career know that she's never been one to cause drama or create division. The fact that she found herself pushed out of the team says more about the Fever's internal dynamics than it does about her abilities or attitude. The bigger question here is whether the Fever made the right call. By letting go of a veteran like Fagbenle, they're doubling down on their youth movement. But at what cost? Veteran players like her bring leadership, stability, and experience, qualities that are often undervalued in a league like the WNBA, which already struggles with retaining its stars and fostering strong team cultures. As for Fagbenle's future, it's uncertain. She has plenty of options overseas, where she's already proven herself as a top player in Europe, and there's no doubt she'll continue to thrive. But her exit from the Fever is a stark reminder of the challenges faced by veteran players in the WNBA, especially when team dynamics and internal politics come into play. In the end, the release of Temi Fagbenle isn't just about roster changes. It's a story about a league still figuring out how to balance youth and experience, talent and leadership. And for Fagbenle, it's a chapter that closes with more questions than answers. Did you hear the latest uproar in the WNBA? Diana Taurasi, one of the league's all-time greats, is openly furious about being compared to rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. Taurasi believes that as a seasoned veteran, she deserves more respect and recognition, pushing back against claims that Clark is outperforming her. Taurasi, who has consistently been a cornerstone of the Phoenix Mercury, feels that the comparisons are undermining her legacy. "I've dedicated my life to this game," Taurasi stated in a recent interview. "Being compared to a rookie who's just starting her journey isn't fair. I deserve better recognition for my years of hard work and achievements." But let's talk numbers. Caitlin Clark has been nothing short of phenomenal this past season. She's averaged 22 points per game, leading the league in assists with 9.5 per game, and boasts a three-point shooting percentage of 40%. In contrast, Taurasi averaged 18 points, 5 assists, and shooting 35% from beyond the arc. Clark also holds the record for the most assists in a single season, showcasing her playmaking prowess that has transformed the Indiana Fever into one of the top teams in the league. Clark's impact goes beyond just the stats. She's revitalized the Fever, turning a struggling team into playoff contenders with her leadership and dynamic play. While Taurasi has been a consistent performer, Clark's explosive performances have captured the spotlight, leading many to argue that she's the more valuable player this season. Taurasi's frustration is understandable. After over 2 decades in the league, she's amassed 5 WNBA championships, 2 MVP awards, and countless accolades. Yet, in the eyes of some fans and analysts, a rookie is already outshining her. This has sparked a heated debate about the criteria for valuing veteran players versus rising stars. Critics of the comparisons point out that Clark's all-around game and statistical dominance make her a strong MVP contender. However, supporters of Taurasi argue that experience, leadership, and clutch performances in high-stakes games are just as important, if not more so, than raw statistics. The controversy reached its peak when Taurasi confronted the narrative head-on. "Comparing me to Caitlin is like comparing apples to oranges," she said. "Experience and consistency matter. Caitlin is incredible, but she's still learning. I've been here, building this league, and I expect to be treated with the respect that comes with that." Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues to excel, proving that her rookie season is one for the history books. Her ability to score, distribute, and make game-winning plays has earned her a legion of fans and a prominent spot in MVP discussions. As the season progresses, the rivalry between Taurasi and Clark highlights the evolving dynamics of the WNBA, where veterans and rookies alike are pushing each other to new heights. The debate isn't just about who has better stats, it's about what makes a player truly valuable. Is it the ability to dominate the scoreboard, the knack for making teammates better, or the experience to lead a team through tough times? Taurasi and Clark represent different facets of greatness, and their comparison raises important questions about how we honor and recognize talent in the league. As the WNBA season heats up, all eyes are on Diana Taurasi and Caitlin Clark. Taurasi's call for better treatment of veterans and Clark's undeniable rise are shaping the conversation around player value and legacy. Whether you side with Taurasi's experience or Clark's impressive stats, one thing is clear: the future of the WNBA is bright, with both legends and rising stars driving the game forward. What do you think? Should veteran experience weigh more heavily in MVP considerations? Or should outstanding rookie performances like Caitlin Clark's take center stage?
I'm really excited for this new beginning and to build something from the ground up here with the Valkyries.
As the WNBA undergoes its first expansion in nearly 20 years, the Golden State Valkyries step onto the scene, poised to make a significant impact. Kate Martin makes her much-anticipated return to the court, now proudly wearing the new franchise's jersey and shouldering immense expectations. Unfortunately, A'ja Wilson is displeased with this development and appears to hold resentment toward Kate, viewing her actions as a betrayal.
Yeah, honestly, my focus has just been getting better. I mean, all around. I had a decent rookie season, but I just know something that's really cool about me is that my ceiling is very high.
Meanwhile, reigning MVP A'ja Wilson is feeling increasing pressure as she watches rivals and newcomers aggressively enhance their game. With Caitlin Clark already emerging as the next major star, brace yourself for a season that promises a true transformation on the court. Envision the scenario after many years without a significant shift. The WNBA is finally undergoing a substantial expansion. The last time something of this magnitude occurred was nearly 2 decades ago, and now the Golden State Valkyries are stepping into the league with all the fanfare and excitement.
I have a lot of room to grow. Always working on my shot, always working on being quicker, but
behind the scenes, analysts, players, and fans were restless, eagerly speculating about the names selected in the WNBA expansion draft. Amid corridor whispers, leaked information, and bold assumptions, one name stood out: Kate Martin, officially chosen by the Golden State Valkyries. Her acquisition is poised to shift the league's power dynamics, directly impacting established stars like current MVP A'ja Wilson. With the Valkyries entering the league amidst the first major expansion in nearly 2 decades, Kate Martin becomes a central figure for the ambitious new franchise. Her presence not only energizes the already massive fan base, but also signifies the Valkyries' intent to make a significant mark. This move heightens the competition for A'ja Wilson, who now faces intensified pressure from new teams, emerging talents, and the rising star Caitlin Clark, who is quickly becoming a top contender for the MVP title. The upcoming season is set to be transformative, with the WNBA experiencing a true revolution on the court. The Golden State Valkyries, backed by Kate Martin, are ready to challenge the status quo, while the Indiana Fever are meticulously rebuilding to reclaim their prominence. This creates a multifaceted threat landscape for Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces as they navigate not only traditional rivals, but also fresh talent eager to ascend. Caitlin Clark's emergence adds another layer of excitement and tension. Her offensive prowess, court vision, and magnetic personality position her as a formidable rival to Wilson, potentially leading to a fierce MVP showdown. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever, despite losing some players in the expansion draft, are strategically assembling a team hungry for victory, ensuring that the competition remains fierce and unpredictable. As the WNBA grows with new teams and rising stars, the stage is set for a season filled with tight confrontations, strategic trades, and intense behind-the-scenes maneuvers. The clash between the Golden State Valkyries, Indiana Fever, Las Vegas Aces, and standout players like A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark will define the league's future. Fans can look forward to thrilling matchups and the rise of new legends as the WNBA continues to evolve. The central question remains: who will emerge victorious as the league undergoes these profound transformations? Will Kate Martin lead the Valkyries to success and become their iconic face? Can the Indiana Fever reinvent themselves and challenge the established powerhouses? And will A'ja Wilson maintain her MVP status against the rising threat of Caitlin Clark? These answers will unfold on the court, making the upcoming season one of the most exciting and pivotal in WNBA history. Could Satou Sabally join Caitlin Clark on the Indiana Fever? This could be the biggest WNBA story of the offseason, and the digital clues Sabally has been leaving suggest it's more than just speculation. Recently, the Indiana Fever said goodbye to Fagbenle, one of their key players early in the season. While this may seem like a typical off-season move, it could be setting the stage for something massive. Satou Sabally, the Dallas Wings all-star forward, has made it clear she's a free agent and has been subtly hinting at her interest in joining the Fever. From strategically liking social media posts to engaging with content about teaming up with Caitlin Clark, Sabally's actions are speaking volumes.
So she's come out and said she's a free agent, and then Overtime said Satu teaming up with Caitlin, kinda here for that narrative.
On Instagram, Sabally has been particularly active. After announcing her free agency, she began liking posts about the Fever and their potential super team with Caitlin Clark. What's notable is her complete lack of engagement with posts from fans of other teams, including vocal Chicago Sky supporters. This is calculated. Sabally has even liked fan-created graphics showing her in a Fever jersey, something rare in a league where players typically avoid tampering speculation. This isn't just random behavior. The timing and pattern of her activities suggest intent. After the college season began and Caitlin Clark started dominating headlines, Sabally's engagement with Indiana-related content escalated. It's clear she's intrigued by what the Fever are building. Why does this matter? The Fever are at a pivotal moment. They have Aaliyah Boston, who had a historic season, and of course, we all know what Caitlin Clark has been up to. But they still need a veteran superstar to complete the picture. Sabally, at 6 feet 4 inches with guard-like skills, could be the missing piece. Last season, Sabally averaged nearly 19 points and 8.5 rebounds per game. She's a versatile forward who can stretch the floor, defend multiple positions, and dominate in the paint. Pairing her with Boston and Clark would create a lineup that's not just competitive, but potentially dominant for years. And let's not forget Kelsey Mitchell, a proven scorer who would thrive with defenses unable to focus solely on her. But how could the Fever actually get Sabally? The Wings could use the core designation to retain her rights, similar to the franchise tag in other sports. However, history shows that forcing players to stay often backfires. Elena Delle Donne and Diana Taurasi both pushed their way to preferred destinations despite being cored. A sign and trade deal might be the best solution for all parties. A likely trade package could include Nalissa Smith, the 8th pick in the upcoming draft, and a future first-round pick. Smith is a promising young forward with significant upside, and the draft pick would allow Dallas to add more young talent. For the Fever, giving up these assets is worth it to secure a proven superstar like Sabally. This potential move isn't just about the Fever, it's about the league. With super teams already established in New York and Las Vegas, the WNBA needs another team to balance the competitive landscape. Adding Sabally to a young core led by Boston and Clark could make Indiana that team. It would also shift the narrative around Indiana as a free agent destination, turning them into one of the most exciting franchises in the league. The timing is perfect for both Sabally and the Fever. At 25 years old, Sabally is entering her prime. The Fever have cap space to offer a max contract without compromising their roster, thanks to their young core still being on rookie deals. Bringing in Sabally would solidify their transformation from a rebuilding team to a legitimate contender. This move could also have a ripple effect beyond basketball. The Fever would instantly become one of the most marketable teams in the league, drawing attention to a smaller market and contributing to the WNBA's growth. Sabally joining forces with Clark and Boston wouldn't just create a team, it would create a dynasty capable of dominating the league for years to come.
Asia Wilson 1, Nafisa Collier 2, Sabrina Ionescu 3, Brianna Stewart 4, Alyssa Thomas 5, and honorable mentions, Caitlin Clark.
Did you catch the latest WNBA bombshell? Caitlin Clark, the rookie powerhouse who's been dominating the courts and shattering records all season, has been shockingly left out of the top MVP conversation. But here's where it gets even more explosive. Asia Wilson, the current MVP, is furious. Why? Because fans and analysts are increasingly saying that Clark's incredible performance deserves the MVP title more than her. How did Clark, with her standout stats and game-changing impact, get sidelined like this? The controversy is igniting intense debates across the basketball community.
She is leading the WNBA in points generated, which means points scored and or points assisted on. She is leading the league by a significant margin, and she is doing this as a rookie with a Fever team that is not comprised of a bunch of all-stars.
Let's dive into the MVP rankings that are making big waves in the WNBA. Leading the pack is A'ja Wilson, confidently holding the top spot.
There's no debating it. If you even talk about MVP, you have to be like, well, of course A'ja Wilson's running away with it. Like, you cannot even have any kind of constructive conversation around MVP unless you preface it by saying, well, I already know that A'ja Wilson won. Like, that's the standard.
Coming in hot at number 2 is Napheesa Collier from the Minnesota Lynx. Every time she steps onto the court, she takes full command of the game, leaving a massive impact on both her team and the opposition. Quiet yet lethal, Collier consistently asserts her dominance, making it impossible to ignore her formidable presence.
And Napheesa can take over the game at any point in time. We've seen her do this on multiple occasions.
Sabrina Ionescu is stubbornly holding on to the 3rd spot, even though some argue she doesn't quite deserve it. Behind her, Breanna Stewart and Alyssa Thomas secure their places in the top 5. But here's the real surprise. Where is Caitlin Clark? The rookie sensation who's been setting the league ablaze with her incredible performances is completely absent from the top 5. Unbelievable, right?
Getting to the honorable mention, they have Caitlin Clark.
You might think there's been a mix-up, but nope, that's exactly how the MVP rankings stand today. Their website even spotlighted Caitlin Clark with this statement.
While the Fever underwent understandable woes in the first month of the season, Indiana is 14-6 over their last 20 games, including 2 massive wins coming out of the All-Star break. Clark has found a synergy with her teammates and elite comfort on the floor as a facilitator and creator. She's knocking on the door of first-team All-W and top 5 finish in MVP voting.
Did you hear that? Caitlin Clark is just knocking on the MVP door? Not quite. Clark isn't merely knocking, she should already have a seat at the top. In fact, Caitlin Clark undeniably deserves a spot in the top 3 MVP contenders, alongside A'ja Wilson and Napheesa Collier, and the numbers leave no room for doubt.
Look at their stats. A'ja wipes the floor with both of them. The only categories that she doesn't have are assists, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Caitlin has all of those. She is tied for steals with Napheesa.
Let's be honest, A'ja Wilson was outstanding, no doubt. But rookie Caitlin Clark has outshined her in crucial areas like assists, free throw percentages, and 3-pointers, even setting the assist record. Clark's on-court impact is undeniable, proving she's anything but average. So why is she being overlooked? It's got everyone puzzled. Some say it's because she's a rookie and the league prefers established stars. Others argue that individual stats don't capture the whole picture. This snub hasn't gone unnoticed. The debate is heating up, with voices like Rachel Demita criticizing the WNBA's MVP selection process. Demita points out that every time Clark elevates her game, the bar for her recognition keeps rising, making it harder for her to secure the MVP title she clearly deserves. Historically, only one rookie, Candace Parker in 2008, has ever won the MVP award. It feels like there's an unwritten rule against first-year players being the most valuable. But why? Are rookies seen as too inexperienced, or is there a bias towards veterans? Clark is challenging this by excelling not just as a rookie, but across multiple facets of the game. As Skip Bayless put it, nobody in the league can flick logo threes as effortlessly as Caitlin can. Clark is now pushing A'ja Wilson for the MVP crown with her exceptional ability to control the game. While Wilson has secured back-to-back championships with a star-studded team, Clark is transforming the Indiana Fever. Before the All-Star break, the Fever were struggling with a 13-27 record. After the break, They flipped the script with a 14-6 run, thanks to Clark's leadership and stellar performances. She's not just scoring, she's elevating her entire team, leading them to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. When comparing Clark to Candace Parker, Clark is already surpassing Parker's rookie stats in assists, steals, three-pointers, and free throw percentage. Her all-around game is setting new standards, proving she's a game changer. Her impact on the Fever is clear, turning a struggling team into one of the league's hottest. Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson shines on a team loaded with Team USA players and multiple All-Stars, making her achievements impressive but also supported by a strong roster. In contrast, Clark excels without the same level of star support, highlighting her individual value. The MVP debate in the WNBA is intensifying. Should the award go to the player with the best stats, the one who drives their team's success, or the one who's revolutionizing the game? Clark's season is forcing us to rethink traditional MVP criteria, blending individual excellence with transformative team impact. Caitlin Clark's rise is more than a rookie story, it's a revolution in the WNBA. As she continues to dominate and elevate her team, the question remains, is it time to break down old barriers and recognize the true value players like Clark bring to the league? The MVP conversation isn't over, and Clark is right at the center, challenging us to redefine what it means to be the most valuable player. What do you think? Should the MVP go to the player with the best stats, the one who boosts their team's success, or the one who's redefining the game?